Okay, my name is Scott Burt, and I am an instructional systems designer with the McKinley Group, which I've been with for about 11 months now. Okay, well, I'm contracted, McKinley Group has me contracted out to a company called Maximus, which works with a program called Ticket to Work. And essentially what this program allows people who are disabled to do is actually free of charge work with an employment network that will help them find work and help them hopefully get off disability, where they can start earning their own income and potentially earn more than they would on disability benefits. What I do is I work with training these employment networks on a lot of the operational procedures to make them a little more efficient and effective.
UMBC?
I think one of the nice things that I worked with was that we have something that we do every week called Ticket Training Tuesdays, where what we do is each week we will offer a conference call which offers new training to the employment networks. A lot of that is going back and utilizing the process that I learned at UMBC as far as analyzing what some of the needs are, being able to design, develop training, writing out the learning objectives, and then being able to deliver that, and then providing feedback, getting feedback from the presenters, from the participants afterwards on what they liked about the program and what they'd like to see in the future. In that particular project is that I was actually the one who was doing the designing and also doing the facilitating. So a lot of what I learned from UMBC was really being able to go through this process and being able to really dig down deep, using a scientific method to be able to design this training to be able to work with. I actually am in a career change, and a couple of years ago I was thinking about my career and looked back at what I'd done in my career. And when I look back at all the experiences I had, it always came back to training was really where I had that passion. So what was nice is that I work with the Association of Training and Development, and what they did is one of the people who went here, Michelle Moore, actually suggested this as a school for education. And I felt that that was really a life-changing experience, because now I've changed my career. I can tell it's something that I'm a lot more passionate about and very excited about what's going to be happening in the future. I think the best part I find is really being able to help people and really try to find out exactly what their needs are. I think it's a combination of really being able to have that creative, the technical skills also to be able to design the plans, but also have the people skills to be able to work with subject matter experts and be able to create win-win situations for yourself and for them.
Terrific.
I think immensely is that I think when I did training before, a lot of it was really utilizing creativity, which I think is important to training. But I felt the career at a couple things at UMBC is that they really taught me to, when I look at training, to really use more of a scientific method to be able to go through and analyze and before you actually design training. I think also that some of when I was at school at UMBC, a lot of the projects were actually working in actual companies. So I got real life hands-on experience. The most I liked about it was really that it wasn't just that I was in a classroom, is that I was actually doing live projects. And I think that more than anything, I think really getting that live hands-on experience really is what made the program so valuable. I would say the best thing to do is really try to explore the options with that, as far as taking a look at what it has to offer. If you're really serious about the field, really want to get that life hands-on experience, I think it's a great program to get involved with. I was looking for a program that was really going to be focusing on designing training, which I felt that the UMBC program was willing to offer. From doing further research on it, I found whenever I looked at the field of ISD that UMBC's name always seemed to come up on the internet. So I could really tell that it was a very well-regarded program. Well, I'd say immensely with that. I think that what I found when I was actually out there looking for a job after I designed my portfolio, that a lot of people were asking for work samples, like writing samples, and also they wanted to know, well, how good are you at designing? Well, instead of telling them about that, I could actually show them by some of my work samples that I had. So a lot of times when I was in interviews, I could state a stronger case because I did have actual work to back up what I was saying. Yeah, I think it really immensely as far as the career orientation, that instead of a lot of times working with just in classroom work, most of the work was actually working with actual companies. So I was getting actually live experience when I was out there working with that. As far as transitioning over to my career, when I would go on interviews, a lot of people would ask me, well, tell me a little bit about your experience. You know, I don't see you've been working in the financial services industry. How does that transfer over to what we're doing here? And I could tell them a lot about my projects, that I was actually working with live companies, working with actual people within that organization, and then being able to transfer that over to, show them how that experience really would transfer over to the position that they were offering. I think not really anything new, but really just to emphasize the program, really the fact that they do put you in situations where you're working with an actual company in a live situation instead of just in a classroom. I think that was just immense as far as the help that gave me when I was actually applying for a job, and could relate some of those experiences to actual work experience and working with that. And I think secondly is really the idea of the emphasis that the program had about having a professional portfolio. And I remember going through and being able to design that, and really enjoyed having that portfolio, but didn't really actually realize how important that was until I started to apply for different jobs, and really found that was very beneficial to me finding the job that I have right now.